If your business uses fixed or maximum term employment contracts, then you have until the 7th of December 2023 to determine if you still want to or if it is still lawful for you to do so once the Fair Work Act changes are implemented. Hi, I'm Joel Lilovich. I'm the Director of 3D HR Legal and author of Homeforce. Today is the third in a three-part video series where we are discussing three of the major changes to the Fair Work Act that are coming in or have come in to effect. The last two videos were around one, pay secrecy and the prohibition on including that in employment contracts, and two, the increased ability for people to request flexible working arrangements and the requirements for employers in how they respond to those requests. But today we're talking about fixed and maximum term contracts. So from the 7th of December 2023, employers are not permitted to enter into fixed and maximum term contracts with an employee in three major situations. First, in a situation where the fixed term contract is greater than 2 years. Second, where the contract term has a provision to extend it or to renew it, which taken together with the original term would be a total that is greater than 2 years. And the third circumstance where it would be unlawful is where the contract has an option to renew it or extend it more than once contained in that contract. There are also further limitations where you have existing fixed or maximum term contracts in place and you are wanting someone to do the same or substantially similar work under another fixed term contract. Those are a little bit more detailed, those restrictions. So these changes are all designed to provide more security of employment to employees. But we all know as business owners that a lot of the time it's not possible or viable for a business to offer permanent employment. So the government understands that and they have created some exceptions in the legislation. There's a whole list of them, three of them off the top of my head. One where there's some government funding which is not going to be renewed after that period of time for that fixed term contract. Or it may be that there are some constitutional rights that say something like you've got a term that can be for a max 5-year period. Or it may be that there are provisions in a modern award which also provide for fixed or maximum term contracts in certain circumstances. If you fall into one of those exceptions, then you will be in the clear. If you don't though, and you enter into fixed term contracts that are in breach of the Fair Work Act provisions, then there are potentially penalties against your business. Another big thing to note is that if you do have a fixed term contract and you end up with a dispute with an employee under that arrangement, that employee can bring that dispute to the Fair Work Commission and seek resolution. And finally, after the 7th of December 2023, if you are engaging someone, employing someone on a fixed maximum term contract, then you will need to provide them with a new Fair Work Information Statement. And this one is called the Fixed Term Contract Information Statement. So what should you do? Well, there's two major things to do. First is check all of your fixed term contracts. Do they meet the exceptions? If they don't, make then a decision about how you're going to handle the employment of that particular employee when that contract comes to its end. The second thing that I suggest that you do is have a process for deciding when it's okay to enter into fixed or maximum term contracts in the future. You may just decide that you don't want to use them at all, or you may want to have some sort of system to go through to make sure that you are legally compliant. To find out more about these Fair Work Act changes and the other ones that I've discussed, you can review the video series or you can read our detailed blog on our website. You can find that at 3dhrlegal.com.au. And when you're there, you will also see that we have a checklist available that gives you a full list of all of our recommendations for how to make sure you're compliant with all the Fair Work Act changes that are happening.